Okay. Yeah, you can hear me? Everything is fine? Cool. Excellent. So, hello everyone, and welcome to the first episode of our new Hardcore Thermal Bodybuilders podcast here on the YouTube channel. I have the pleasure today to introduce our very first guest, is the amazing women's physique competitor from the UK, Maz, aka Maz Maria Fitness.
Hi.
Hello, Maz. Hi. Yeah, happy Friday.
Thank God it's Friday.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you for joining me in this call. How are you today?
I'm good. Just trained, feeling good.
Yeah, I saw the video you posted earlier this morning. That was
I know.
brutal.
I've never actually. I've attempted that lift like 3 times, and I went to the gym today. I thought I'm not going to do deadlifts. I'm not going to get put in a bad mood. And then there I was loading the bar, and it lifted for free. I was buzzing.
Yeah, I mean, what was it, like 220 kilos? Those are power lifters numbers.
Yeah, no one met max. Met max. If I lift it up once, I'm going to go again.
Wow, well done. Keep on pushing. Okay, so let's start with some questions. So I know you've been bodybuilding for quite a few years. You started off as a figure competitor?
Yeah, that's right. So back in 2018, I did my first show. I did quite a few figure shows. I never started training to become a bodybuilder. I was a personal trainer. And I just kind of fell into it. I wanted to do a diet, so I got under a coach because I was always training hard, but I was teaching classes in the gym, and I was also loved my food. I loved going out. I was younger then, but then I did one diet. I was like 6 weeks into my diet, and it kind of like pushed me towards. I'd never even been to a bodybuilding show, and I did a 7-week prep, and I was pretty much dropped off at the back of a theatre. And I did my first PCA show, which I absolutely loved, and obviously I've done 15 shows now, so it's literally 15. I just obviously love.
Yeah, that's great. Great.
I think it was figure until 2021, and then the judges' feedbacks were like either downsize your legs or move up to physique. And then that's why I transitioned into that. But I absolutely, definitely prefer. It's funny because I think I did 10 shows in figure, and I'd finally figured out how to walk in heels. And then it's like no more heels now. So I do prefer physique. Yeah, I heard that from quite a few athletes that being able to be on stage without heels is... At first I was like a pantomime donkey, and like some of my clients now, they're like, I can't walk in heels. I'm like, get the heels on, you need to practice. But it literally put me 10 shows, and then I was like, hang the heels up. Here we go, we're in physique. But it's definitely, I feel like with figure, if I was to stay in there, I'm kind of holding myself back, because obviously, me getting on stage is from the back end of me loving how to train heavy, and I stayed in figure. I'm like kind of stumping my progress. I'm just, even now, like, I'm bigger, but I'm not big for my frame. So I feel like there's just still so much more potential. And obviously, I'm not, even if I'd carry on, even if the judges were to say, obviously I'm not big for women's bodybuilding, but if they was to say, you need to hold back on this area and stuff like that, I'd rather say no, not stand on stage again and keep doing what I'm doing. It's just all the back end of what I love to do, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. And also, I noticed, everybody noticed your change, your transformation in the last over a year. You made a massive increase of size?
Yeah, I mean, in 2021, like that's when they told me to move up to figure. But then I was with a coach and he dialed me in, which I needed to be, and I did win my shows down to condition, but I did lose a lot of size. So when we're comparing to obviously a year and a half ago, I've literally just built back up, but then improved. It should cost $1 billion to look this good. So I feel like my legs have gone back to what they were, but I've got up with the areas as well, like I've got massive the legs, so to speak. So if you look at the data on obviously a year and a half ago, and I started 2 years ago, that's my technique. I think I'm doing a good job of making sure it's all balanced as well, like rather than bottom heavy. I'm no wellness athlete, I'm literally too wide, so I'm never going to be one of them. So I needed my upper to match, and I think I'm doing a good job. Hopefully it's going to be
absolutely. So you were telling me that you're taking this here off from stage, so you're gonna do like a full year of
right,
season.
yeah. So I last stepped on stage when I did the Italy in October, early October, and it's just a complete different ball game, I think, abroad. So the past 4 shows in the UK I've won. I've always been took on the overall, and it's always by someone that is better than me. Because I always look straight away on show day, look back and I'm like, I need to do this, off I go. But I go to Italy, obviously my aim's to get the pro card, and I keep getting overtook in that overall. But go to Italy, come 5th, literally a completely different kettle of fish. Like, it's just another world out there compared to the UK. And so it's just a wake-up call. Like, I've never had a long off season. It's always been just that short time from October when the finals are to then maybe May. I'm jumping into a prep when the shows are all released and I'm getting all excited. But then realistically, there's no changes at all being made, just maybe a few bits of fine tuning. But obviously this full year now, well, it's going to be a year and a half, and then hopefully head towards going to prep maybe end of the year to start the season next year, to get back on stage. But again, going to the Olympia in October, so that might be a kick in the teeth. It'd be like, am I really good enough? It might be that stop that I'm going to do next year as well.
That's going to be also like a great inspiring and motivation, going to the Olympia, see it in person, what it's like, the biggest
one of them crazy once in a lifetime, unless I'm actually there on stage one day maybe. But I'm taking my boys as well because they actually love it.
Wow, fantastic.
Fantastic. I'm looking forward to that.
Also, so the whole family
kind of just dragged into my life. Come on.
That's good. That's good. It's great to have that's the most important thing. So as long as you have family, partners, kids that supports you, I mean, it's the best thing. So very, very important. And I wanted to ask you, I think you already told me this when you started your bodybuilding journey, and what motivated you in the first place to step on stage? I think you mentioned something.
So it's like I said, it's just the back end of me enjoying the gym. Since 2011, I think I started working at a gym, and it was pretty much, first off I was just like sales manager, sales manager, went to duty manager, that sort of roles, and I never actually wanted to be a PT. I just attended a few classes like everybody does, body combat, like trying to lose baby weight. And then as I I had the opportunity to do my PT course while I was at the gym, and it was more of a get out of office and get paid for it. So I ended up doing that, and fast forward then going on to do my PT course and thought, I like this. Then started training. I got with my partner about 8 years ago. I was already mainly training legs, like pretty much every girl does, and shoulders. So shoulders and legs, that's all he ever did. And then there was this one girl in our gym at the time who was competing, and I remember I was like, wow, look at her back. I want a back like that. I've never actually had, to that point, I'd never even done a deadlift, never done anything to my back. As soon as I started training my back, it just went bam. It's probably one of my strongest points. And so it's just crazy. So then that was me obviously into the gym, absolutely loving it, but still didn't want to get on stage. But I was training with my partner, I've been with him 8 years now, and he's like dead supportive. He's trained in the past with bodybuilders and stuff, so I learned all my stuff from him.
Great.
And then obviously I did get that coach that we spoke about. It was just, I literally said to him, I want to look like a bodybuilder, but I don't want to be a bodybuilder. That was like my key inquiry to him. And then 7 weeks later, I was like, heels on stage, like a pantomime donkey, because posing is not something natural to me. It's literally
it's hard.
Honestly,
it's hard.
I felt like a rabbit in the headlights. I was awful. When I look back, I'm just like, oh my god. Sometimes I actually send it to clients when they're struggling. I'm like, look, this is how I started. There's light at the end of the tunnel.
I think every athlete that step on stage for the first time at the beginning, it's something that doesn't feel natural. But then once you get that confidence, you get that.
I think there's now like when you first started, and it's all the glitz and glam. You're doing it for the likes. You're doing it for approval of everyone in the bodybuilding world. And like as you get further down the line, and like you start to realise that things come and go, conversations come and go, people aren't actually, like, since I've been focusing on me, there's not just like a handful of the same people that are in this, where when I first started, could have filled a room, but now it's just the ones that are around are the ones that are solid, the ones that support you, and it's just insane, like, how you can actually go from just that girl picking up a few dumbbells, going out with friends, and then actually now, obviously my own bodybuilding career, which I absolutely love, but then also coaching people as well, because I was never an online coach.
Yes.
I was like, I can't online coach, I don't know what I'm doing. And then I was only a PT for 3 years, and then I had to go full time online because it got so busy. And now, like, obviously I pass that on to all my knowledge and experiences now, pass on to my competitor clients, which I get more emotional with them on stage than I do me. I'm like just a proud mum on sports day, like yay! But yeah, it's the whole journey of it. It's just my passion. I absolutely love it.
No, that's amazing. You mentioned your online coaching business. Can you tell us a little bit about it? You've got also your own website and an Instagram page for your coaching
yes, that's
business,
the Coach by Maz. So basically, with my clients, the majority of them are lifestyle clients. So the general public that usually are trying to prep for a holiday, want to lose weight after a baby, general lifestyle health. But then I do have my bodybuilding side as well, which, like last year, a couple of them like literally won the overalls. I've had like Davina, she would come to the Arnold's with me, literally just missed out on a pro card. So it's like, so it's like I'm trying to grow that side as well over the lifestyle. And I know it'll come in time, but I'm not a businesswoman. I'm not trying to, I'm not one of them that's over in Dubai working from a laptop thinking life's all good. I'm able to be in a position to provide a job for myself and absolutely love it, support my family, and provide and do it and love what I'm doing.
Yes, and that's the most important thing. If you love what you're doing, it doesn't even feel like work. Exactly. So that's very important, because you're combining your number one passion, your sport, your love for the sport, and your job as well. So That's really, really good. And I wanted to ask you, what is it like your diet at the moment in this season phase?
So this time, I have had off seasons where I've literally had to eat. I think I got up to like 800 gram of carbs a day. And this time, last year I was still probably around 600. But this year, it's been completely different. I completely rebounded back up to like just under 200 pounds, pretty much within like 3 months of stage. And I didn't necessarily, that was just from keeping my food quite low. I didn't necessarily need to overfill myself. I've just completely gone off how I'm feeling, how I'm digesting it. Is it, fueling my workouts? Am I recovering from them? So like pretty much every day, every training day, every rest day, I eat the same foods regardless of my output, and it seems to be working. So right now I'm roughly on it's around 450 gram of carbs a day, which is about, with my protein and fats, it's around 3,400 calories. So not necessarily for being just over 200 pounds, the loads I'm lifting, I'm keeping my body comp relatively tighter. I'm not overspilling, I'm not overforcing my foods. I'm just feeling really good, healthy, and it's doing the job. So I know some people, they go, oh, I'm eating this, I'm eating that. I have been there, and I probably back then I had to do it to be able to get myself in this position. But I'm not spring chicken at the minute anymore. I'm obviously, I don't want to blow my waist out because I am getting older. There's just all them things that I need to think about and just make sure I'm not ruining that stage look. There is, it's once a week, or if something does pop up, I will enjoy myself. I will have off-plan meals and stuff like that. I'm not food focused whatsoever. So my partner, the kids, if they're eating McDonald's, if they're eating treats, I'm cooking them nice meals. I'm happy just eating the same meals day in, day out, because it just works for me.
Yeah, if it works, it's good to stick with it.
If say I went away for last weekend for my birthday, and there was a few times where we are out, and it just makes me feel like I'm there, I've took my chicken wrap with me. They're like looking at me like, you're not going to have this. Or even when I've been anywhere with my dad and he's like, do you want a chip? Do you want a chip? And I'm like, Dad, I'm not sat here wanting to eat it. I literally wouldn't eat that if you paid me. It's not going to fuel my session. It's not going to make me feel good. So you keep your chips and complain about your weight and I'll do me.
No, fair enough. I mean, the lifestyle, the bodybuilding lifestyle.
I mean, it's not me.
Sometimes it's not.
It's not. I've not woke up like this. That's obviously from 2018 to now. That's me getting myself in this position. Absolutely, my first couple of preps, first off seasons, I was so food focused. I was like probably binging on foods that I shouldn't have been binging on. And rather than a cheat meal, it would have been a cheat day. But now it's literally, the food focus is gone. I'm feeling my sessions, I'm feeling good, I'm eating enough, so there's no reason to be greedy, and that's why I feel like I'm progressing like I am doing.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I mean, I'm impressed by your progress in the last year. It's a continuous improvement, so you're definitely on the right path. So you were saying earlier you currently are around 200.
Yeah, I'm like 202, 203 pounds.
202, which is it? Almost 100 kilo, I guess.
That's the goal. I don't think I'd still have this body comp though if I got to that.
Well, I mean, you look for that weight, you look fantastic.
I am only 5'6" as well, so I literally like. So I'm not actually. I'm not tall. I'm like in the amateur.
No, but you're not short either.
I'm just slightly under average. So I think I can hold a little bit more weight. So we'll just see how it goes. But I think anything less, I'm not going to be making any progress. So the idea now is to just hold this weight, and solidify it and see how we get on.
Yeah, and also coaching wise, you are coaching yourself, or
I have been
which is
22. I just feel like with coaches as well, going back to like the food focus, I felt like a lot of the coaches that have worked in the past, it's always been the scales are the main focus, and where it's getting me where I'm worried about what they're gonna be, and I'm like there's been times in the past where I've had a laxative before my check-in. You know, it's like a complete bad behaviour on my part, and then me not trusting the coach, me worrying about it, just adding a lot of stress to me. Like, no one's ever told me how to train. I've never had a coach tell me how to train, what to do. It's always been what cardio to set on prep if I need it in off season, and then the foods and thing protocols like that. So when I thought in 2021 after the Arnold's, I just thought, right, this is an off season, it's clear I need a lot of size, I'm going to take that pressure off myself and do my thing. And obviously as I was going to start prep for last year, absolutely a 1,000,000% had doubts in myself, but I've got Charles as a second eye as well, and he'll I'll just say my opinion and he's always like, yeah, and it worked. So obviously I did 3 shows last year, I won 2, went to Italy. My first 2 shows I realised I needed to be a little bit leaner, so that's obviously data me capturing now for next time I prep, so it's going to be, I need that a little bit longer. I only did like a 20 weeks, so I've got to push for around 24 weeks to make sure I'm dialed in enough to win condition, but also have that size in the muscle as well. So
last year were all the women's physique shows, or you did figure?
I did figure for my regional here, because Ubros didn't do the physique, but I had to get my regional qualification for them to be able to go over and do the qualifier. But I also did another a PCA, another federation, which is nothing to do with the NPC FBB, but it was just kind of, it was on my doorstep, it was the day after the regional show as well, so it was kind of just a trial and error to see how I responded, doing a day after another. And that was a trained figure, it's called in PCA, which is pretty much women's physique, and I won that as well. So then obviously I went into 6 weeks later, I then ended up doing the Italy show, which my condition was spot on, but there was just a few things in the peak that I did wrong, which I know now next time I prep not to do, or what I can do, because I was just lagging on a few areas, like I was a bit over dieted in the glute area and stuff. I've made sure that area I've brought up this time, so yeah, lots of data captured on myself, and I know because I did that with the self-doubt, I'm fully confident that next time I step on stage it will be pro-worthy, and I haven't got many years left in me, I don't think, to be able to keep progressing. So when next time I step on stage, when I do get the pro card, it's not the fact that, right, I need a year off to be able to stand with the pros. I want to be able to get my pro card and then can just jump into the pro league and see where I stand with them. Yeah. But I'm pretty confident that I can do that, so that's why whether I just won't start prep until I know it's going to happen.
Yes, exactly. When you feel ready.
No pressure whatsoever.
Keep going. No rush in these things, not just for the sake of
with me as well. Like, once I'm deep down in prep, I'm so miserable when I can't lift heavy. So the longer I can stay loving this bit, I'm literally just not in any rush to do it. That's the worst thing for prep for me. Like, dieting, people think I'm crazy, but I don't get hungry. Like, I think I'm that locked in and that focused to what I've got to do. Obviously, I sit there watching Bake Off, I sit there watching MasterChef on repeat. I am but that's therapeutic for me. I'm not wanting to eat it. I don't feel hungry. So that side of prep, it's not an issue. It's literally, because I can't lift the weights that I like to lift, I go in a mood. Charles goes the opposite
Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine. But don't worry, I'm pretty confident. You will get this pro card and compete next to the best in the world. And by the way, is there any pro athlete you inspire?
Obviously,
from someone that.
So obviously, I look at I'm following all the top athletes. Like I look at like Andrea Shaw, look at Natalia, Sarah, and literally like in awe of them. But as in inspiration, like training, day to day, motivation, mindset, things like that, it's always the men I shift towards. So like James Hollingshead, Branch Warren, like they're like
legends.
That's how I feel in the gym, and like I don't feel like there's any women that actually, obviously they're all insane, but I don't feel like I look at any women and think, oh yeah, I want to train like her. Like I feel like I've got my own spin on my own training. I've quite lucky to be able to self-motivate myself in a way, from not being being so weak when I first started, to then pushing myself to then lifting more than most men. Like that's my own inspiration. And like Nick Walker, like just how he's locked in 24/7. It's just like, it's just unreal. Yeah, so that's it really in regards to, obviously I look at the women all the time. Like even last night I was looking at pros on my Instagram and I was like, I don't think I can prep next year. Like I've got so much work to do. I look shit. And Charles is like, put your phone down, shut up. So you in the gym, I'm like, bring it on.
No, exactly. But I think it's like a common mindset for bodybuilders, not feeling enough that I don't feel big enough, I don't feel conditioned enough.
Because we've got that bit in us that we want to improve so much.
Exactly.
And there's so much time and effort that we put in, and then it's obviously all based on who shows up on the day and what the judge is like on the day. So it's like that bit's out of your hands, so the self-doubt will kick in. And especially with social media, everyone only shares the best bits. No one shares their off seasons, the fluffy bit.
True.
It's like, so it's obviously you're gonna have self-doubt, but if you're doing everything you can to be your best, then regardless of who's up there on stage, if you focus on being your best, that will pay off.
Yeah. I totally agree. And I wanted to ask you about the UK bodybuilding. In the last years, lots of new shows in Europe. I'm talking about Portugal, Spain, Romania. Lots of great pro shows organized by the Wings of Strength, Alina Popa, or Emilio Martinez in Spain. So it's growing a lot in Europe. But do you think there is hope in the UK that is gonna become as good in the pro level?
For IFBB or the NPC for the amateur side, I don't think there's enough put on in regard. There's only one federation one promoter for the NPC, which is Two Bros. I've competed with them since 2019, which they put on brilliant shows and things like that. But like when I said with regards to the women's, I had to do figure, so I had to put my heels on to then get the national qualification. And then go I understand why they're doing it, because there isn't enough amateur competitors wanting to do physique. So if they had him in every single show, they wouldn't fill the class up. So people will be winning by default, and then it's like, do they really want to put that class on, put the money into that, because there's not enough women competitors? So I understand that side, but then with regards to the pro shows and stuff like that, there's pros in the UK, there's pros in Europe that would travel to the UK, but they're not putting the shows on for the women's physique, even women's figure, women's bodybuilding. It's just like, it's frowned upon in the UK. They want bikini, they want wellness, which absolutely. But I do think it's because it's just the business side of things, isn't it? So they're just thinking, who's going to fill the seats? But it's, which is shit, but it's what it is. It's the same with the Arnold. Like, everyone's getting vexed with regards to Arnold doesn't want like this class, this class, this class. But at the end of the day, it's his show. It's like, I understand from a business point of view why he doesn't want it, or why he doesn't want it. Yeah, he can afford it, absolutely, but it's his show. Turn up at the pro shows that are available. Like, you don't, or make a stand for it and actually do something rather than just whinging. I just don't get it. Like, there's loads of pro shows that there's like 2-3 people in the lineup. It's like, if you look bodybuilding and you want people to inspire and follow in your footsteps, you need to be seen. Like you asked me about motivation, and I couldn't tell you any training videos that I've watched from a woman. And like, there's no Instagram. There's pictures with Photoshop, photoshoots and like stage shots, and like, wow, they're insane. But what they're doing day to day, no one knows. So all the bikini girls, it's easy to get to because most of them, that's their genetics. It's not a lot of hard work. Don't get me wrong, the top athletes, they're absolutely unreal.
Absolutely.
I could never be a bikini girl because I'm not structurally like that. Or the wellness, it's literally, it's a bleeding, absolute, amazing physique to have if you're genetically gifted. But there isn't that many women that have the time to build the muscle that women physique competitors build. The efforts that you've got put in, as you get, obviously you'll notice women bodybuilders, unless you're genetically gifted, like top level, where you can do it, say like Colette, how old is she? Like, she's got that muscle because obviously she's like one of the top in the world of being able to build that muscle in that short time. If you look at the women bodybuilders, like they're all old, they're all like could do masters, but it's because of the time it takes to actually build that muscle. So therefore, as a woman of that age, like, I'm lucky, I started young. I had my children age 19, so I've got a 17-year-old and a 12-year-old, so I can literally live my life. I've done it the opposite way round, where a lot of women, they start bodybuilding, doing bikini, we're going into figure, and then they get a promotion in the job and they pull out, or they get married, things get, life gets involved. So it just gets on the back end of it. But if you had pros that were out there pushing it, promoting the sport, rather than saying they do, or whinging when Arnold doesn't put it on, how are people going to follow in our footsteps? I can only do so much with my handful of clients. I can only post so much, and I'm only an amateur. Like, I'm not even on there, but it's like, it's a shame, but I do feel the way it's going as well with regards to, say, my son, for instance, I think the generation of today, they're basically snowflakes. Yep. The wets. Snowflakes. The wets. Like, so like, my son would rather train and look like a physique competitor rather than graft his ass off like his mum and be an open bodybuilder. It's like, are you real? Are you for real? So I think like, people are scared of hard work and what it takes to become what we are. So it's, I think in 10 years time, is there going to be any women's bodybuilding, any women's physique?
Yeah, that's what everybody is worrying.
It is down to people not wanting to put the work in, wanting the quick fixes, and then thinking, sod it after it.
Yeah, I mean, they removed women's bodybuilding from the Olympia a few years ago, but I thought that when they brought it back would be, I mean, it's still going, which is good, thanks to Jake Wood and all the Wings of Strength shows that they have organized in this last few years. But I hope once Jake Wood is not gonna be able to continue to support this. What's gonna happen?
What happens when? So all the ones now, the women bodybuilders now, are pretty much the ones that have been around for years. Even before the ban, like when they took it out and brought it back, they was around the first time round. So what happens when they all get older? Like literally, there isn't. The class is gone. So it's literally, the work needs to be done now by every pro that's out there that wants to actually make a difference, inspire all the young generation, show them that it's not just all, you know, we're not manly, like have a personality, you know, do it right, you know, put it out there why you do love the bodybuilding scene. You know, none of us do it because we want to look pretty, because we want men's approval. It's literally from the sheer love of the gym. So there's no better feeling when I go in that gym and I'm literally lifting heavier than most of the men in there. Or you'll see guys in the background of my videos like nudging the friend like, shit, should we do that?
Oh yeah. They will be like, what? Superhuman.
Yeah, like, but that's the love and that's like the passion and that's why everyone
exactly
the size that we are. Like, push it on to the generation. It's not all. Like, it's not a beauty passion. You know, I don't want to look pretty.
No. That's the point. That's the point. Because this is bodybuilding. So, I mean, for men, we've got up to the open. Bodybuilding, which are the freakiest guys, but people want to see that.
But the women,
that's what I don't understand. Come on, it's called bodybuilding, so it should be equal for men and women. Yeah, exactly. I've been to a few pro shows, and to be honest, the women's show, they were, of course, not as popular as the men, but
people are still intrigued, aren't there? People like, wow, I appreciate the hard work that's put in there.
Absolutely. I was in Romania last August for the Masters Olympia, and I mean, those ladies, they were all 40 years and above, but they looked absolutely amazing.
That's why I'm looking forward to the Olympia. I'm just going to be walking around like
wow. Oh yeah, at the Olympia is going to be even better, because Olympia, you got the best of the best.
I might decide, I'm going to have to just take up a new hobby.
No. Actually, I believe when you see that,
it'll be another
I'm going to be there.
Yeah, let's go.
Soon. Yeah. That's what is going to happen. I'm very, very sure about that. Let's see what I wanted. Oh, okay. You're from the Manchester area, right? So you are much involved in the community around your area. So you probably have lots of lots of people in gyms around Manchester. Do you have support from the community, friends? Family. I mean, family you already said that you have, but in general,
before I started bodybuilding, I was a personal trainer in the local gym. So pretty much have some of my clients that were back with me from 2016 when I started PTing. They're still on my books now with the lifestyle stuff. Pretty much like we've got the Facebook group and stuff like that, where it's like they're a community. I've like brought them together, they've become friends, they're off doing stuff, doing life with them, you know, things like that. Also, like back in the day as well, before I actually, as a child, I used to do athletics. So back school days, and from the age of 15, I was a coach. So I was coaching like the younger children. I was actually in the paper for being England's youngest athletics coach. I know.
Wow.
So, so like I've got that background as well. So like kids activities and stuff like that, like absolutely love. Obviously my boys now, they're both play for football. one of them plays for 2 teams, the other one plays for his college team and things like that.
Excellent.
But yeah, pretty much.
So they are all also involved in sports as
like
well.
My eldest now, he goes gym. I've tried to show him how to train, but I've got, because he goes to the old gym I used to work at, so some of the PTs are like, yo Lewis, he's in half grafting, telling his friends what to do, and he's got my bite, but he's also got the,
alright.
Oh, I won't go today, so I need to, he's only 17, so I'll work on it.
He's young, but it's good that he's got already involved into sports.
Yeah, so they've always as well, so. Like Lewis, my eldest, he's every show that I've done, he's been with me. Even
oh wow,
yeah,
fantastic.
so like it's pretty much hard for us all just to go. Say all our shows down in London, and the Two Bros ones pretty much. So it's hard for me to all of us to go down, and obviously the dog, the fish, we've got all those responsibilities at home. So rather than me go on my own, Lewis has always come with me. So he's literally seen me transform over the years.
Wow, that's great. That's great having your son, following all your journey and supporting and being proud of the mom of his mom. That's good. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. But how do you manage to balance everything? Because you've got a very busy schedule from family training, meal prepping, coaching.
Yeah, it's just second nature to me. Like I've never been someone to just not be doing anything. Like say on a rest day, for instance, I'm like, I'll find hours to go out walking and stuff. Charles is like, sit down, you're meant to be resting, you're meant to be growing. Oh, then I've got the Hoover out. Like, I literally can't sit still. So I'm pretty much, I set my alarm for like 5:30 in the morning. I'm pretty much at the desk for 5.
I saw your stories.
Yeah. So
at crazy hours.
It's crazy. So I'm pretty much 4 o'clock. I'm like, right, try and stay asleep. But I don't. So I'm at the treadmill behind me. I'm on there doing 30-minute walk, answering emails, messages. So then when my clients start checking in, I'm already sat here ready to work. I always, as a coach, I've had coaches myself where they've taken days to respond, like hours when you sat there waiting for your coach's reply. It's like there's nothing worse than it. So I always make sure that everyone's responded to like within like an hour. I'm just so on the ball with it. Anyone that's past like 9 a.m, they know that I've gone to train. So if you want to respond sooner, you get in before my session. And I used to feel really bad, but the cut-off is 10 a.m. and if they're not checking in before 10 a.m, then they don't get a response. And it's just down to the fact of it's obviously not your priority, so why should it be mine? Obviously there's one-off times where something's happening and stuff like that, then I am a bit more lenient, but I just kind of set that sort of structure just so I can keep on top of my shit, they can keep on top of theirs, and my day just runs really smooth. Like, because I work from home, when I do have a spare hour, the meal preps get done. Like, because I do my own diet as well, it's like, it's just because it's the same foods, it's easy to do. Like, I've literally just got tubs of like protein and I just do it as I go. Like, it is just dead simple. It doesn't have to be hard, it just has to work for you. But I think even if I worked in an office, I'd make sure, I'd work it around because it's important to me. Nothing's going to stop me from doing what I need to do.
Exactly. Yeah, and if you do something that you love, as we were saying earlier, I mean, it doesn't matter if you do it from 4 a.m. in the morning to late at night. You enjoy doing it. So
I get up that early. I'm pretty much in bed by 7 p.m.
Okay. So of course, because you need some rest. Rest is equally important.
So everyone knows if they want me, then they need to get in touch by 6 p.m. and then it's not. If they do text me after, they usually get a text back at 4 a.m. Morning.
Fair enough. I mean, that's your hours. So fair enough. Yeah. you can't be present 24/7.
That's what I'd like to be. It's impossible, and I'm not going to grow if I don't sleep.
No, absolutely. But do you prepare your meals once a week for the whole week, or you do it separate?
It's probably 2 or 3 times a week.
2-3 times a week.
And I just have literally the only protein I'm eating at the minute, as in meats, is chicken mince. It's just so easy to eat and so easy to prepare. So I'll do 3 packs of that in one big tub. That'll last me 2 days, and then I'll redo it. And then obviously I have my whey protein and stuff like that, post-workout, pre-workout. So it's just, because it's so simple and easy to do, it's just literally heat how much I need up, bang it on a wrap, eat and work. It's dead easy. There's literally no reason for me to fall off. And again, because I am in off season and I am trying to grow, if my day doesn't go right, say a family emergency happens or something like that, it's not the end of the world. With me being my own coach, I've realised that, say for instance something's happened and I've not been able to hit every single meal, and say I've grabbed a takeout on the way home, and then I'll step on the scales the next day. Newsflash, nothing's happened, no one's died, I've not got fat, I've not got skinny, literally.
Exactly.
Whereas I used to be like, oh my God, I'd have to go nil by mouth. Right now it's the focus of, I need to eat, something's better than nothing. But that's the family emergencies, because it's just literally day by day. It's so very Groundhog Day. It's pretty much day in, day out, same thing. It just works. Consistency, isn't it?
Okay. That's very interesting. Thank you for that. Let me see if I forgot anything here. I think we're close to the end. 46 minutes. So
I was. I don't shut up.
No, that's good. Yeah, that's brilliant for the purpose of this interview. So we get to know you better. And now, I mean, if you feel comfortable, would you like to show a couple of poses for the?
Can you see me on camera?
Yes. Great. Yeah.
On my Instagram, I'm always putting my check-ins and stuff like that. So obviously you can follow that. Follow obviously my progress. Hoping to be, by the time it gets to the end of the year, I'm in a good standpoint to then obviously go into my prep and hit the stage early next year. So
Yeah. And I mean, we can do another interview in a few months' time and see how's your progress going. What has changed since today? So it would be great to have another chat.
But not fit on the screen.
Well, that's an option. Yeah. I may use 2 screens. That's great. And I will upload this sometimes this weekend, so it's gonna be great. But thank you very much, Maz, for your time. It's been an honor to have you in the podcast, and
good luck as well with this, with it being your first. Good luck with it.
Pardon?
Good luck with this, with it being your first. I'm excited.
Let's see. I've got a few more coming up, so more athletes are interested to tell their stories. So
get the news out there, women's bodybuilding.
Exactly. We need to keep it alive. So if we can do a little, give a little contribution. I'm more than happy to do it. And I will be in Spain as well in June for the Empro Classic, so I'm going there and I will do some coverage of that show. So hopefully it will be
Yeah.
it will be good.
Take care.
Okay, and I will put also in the video, in the description, I will put your Instagram page, your coaching business page, your website, so if people are interested, can check it out.
All right, thanks very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Maz. See you. Have a great day. Bye bye.